What's up, guys, and welcome back to Planet Coaster 2. If you're enjoying this series, make sure to leave a like on the video. It would be greatly appreciated. I don't know if you guys will feel the same way, but I personally think that in the previous episode, I did more talking than actual work on Toogii Land. So we're going to try to dial that back a little bit today. Hopefully with less yapping, we'll be able to make a little bit more progress. Having said that, though, I have really enjoyed just sort of taking my time with this place. And I feel like what we have thus far really reflects that. But I've already said too much, so we're going to keep working on our wave pool for the start of this episode. Rather than having these corners at the back be rounded off, I think I'm going to square them off like they were originally. And just like that, we've reached the end of day 3 now. We made $88,000 with just 2 pools. That's honestly kind of insane. So we're going to pause things because too loud. But most wave pools, I feel like, have some type of wall along the backside, like where the wave machines actually are. And if we do this right, we might be able to sort of hide our filtration unit behind it as well. I've got the rough shape done. Guests can't reach entrance and want to leave. Are you sure about that? I don't want guests to be back here in the first place. Maybe that's why Dude Bro thinks he's stuck. But what I want to do is try to get rid of the path inside of what will be basically a big planter box. I want to fill this with a lot of vegetation, maybe like a rock wall or waterfall, some type of big scenery piece as well, but we're not quite there yet. What we need to figure out how to do is how to delete just this path. Hopefully it's as easy as just editing it. No, we probably want to draw, don't we? Let's try that first, maybe. And then I think if we get rid of this, like this whole area of path here, that should kind of prevent the guests from exiting the pool over here. So we're just going to change that to a new path. Now we can go through and delete that whole thing. Yeah, see, check that out. Now all these guests are going to be reset because they're technically stuck. Go ahead. Go ahead. They're too busy celebrating at the moment to be reset. And this guy's just moonwalking. Here, you know what? We can help out a few of you. Oh, no, we can't either. It is not letting me pick you guys up. So there they go. What about these two? Any minute now. Any minute now. I think this actually needs to go out a little bit so we can kind of cover up that path curb right there. These rounded corners are definitely going to be the hardest part about this. Looks like we can do that just fine. It's not going to be perfectly round, but again, we're gonna have to sort of make it work. It's gonna almost look like a diamond type shape. And then right there, should replace that with a new path, and then we can come through and delete that. So let's try to do the same thing now to the opposite side. Okay, it really is. It really is a little finicky. I want you to go to here. There it is. And then back around. Got it. Okay, perfect. Now, heading to the delete tool. If we just get rid of that, that should prevent our guests from walking around here. And then we could actually use the edit tool again and just kind of push this in. I like that idea. I think this will work out okay for us. I'm wondering if we still have those like modular planter boxes. We do. Okay, now would those work here for us though? I don't necessarily want the edge. It's also kind of small. Oh, we could probably make it bigger though, right? We can scale it up a little bit. Okay, that's excessive. What, like 125% maybe? Seems to be about the same size. Now, you know what? It doesn't even have the same radius as that wall, so that one is not going to work. But there's probably There's probably something in here that we could use. I don't want the terrain to be this low. And yeah, we could lift the terrain, but since we have the path and the pool around it, it's not gonna look the way I want it to. So I'm gonna keep trying this. Hopefully we'll find something that'll work. Unfortunately for us, I think that's gonna be about as good as it's gonna get. I got the path tucked in though, all the way around. You can't see the curb anywhere anymore, so we're looking good there. I just wish that they offered the modular planter box like a curved one without the edge. I think then it would look a lot nicer, but we're gonna have a bunch of plants in here anyways. I think we can probably cover that up with some foliage.
1 minute, 37 seconds later.
The scenery is complete, and thankfully it didn't take me a whole hour like it would have usually, because I don't have to place each individual tree. But I intentionally didn't include any palm trees out here because I'm thinking like the further away we get from the main entrance, the less palm trees we should use, right? Eventually I'd like to sort of slowly transition back to using the Mediterranean-esque trees and things, but this area looks fantastic. I was not as concerned around the backside with the plants like clipping through the wall, but around the front, there's nothing. Absolutely nothing. The further away you get though, visually you do start to see a little bit of clipping, but if you get up close, it's non-existent. But it does seem like that wall has kind of prevented our guests from exiting the pool over there, which is good. That's precisely what I wanted. And I did decide to scrap my idea of a waterfall or something similar out here. I just feel like it's gonna be more trouble than it's really worth. However, I do still want to try to hide our filtration system back here. So let's try to grab that and see if it'll just sort of snap to the scenery group. There it is. Beautiful. Okay, I'm gonna have to pause because it's just too noisy for me to even concentrate. But we're gonna have to slide a couple things around here just to sort of make a bit more space for the filter. Doesn't look too bad. And then we're gonna have to do some sort of a custom fill piece right here. Actually, I think we have something that we can use for that. Let me set my scenery theme. This has been really helpful as well. And then I want to say it was this guy. Yeah, dude, that's perfect. Look at that. Look at us, dude. Starting to figure this thing out. I don't love how you can also see the modular planter box in there. Oh, dude, is it as simple as just deleting it? No shot. Okay, hang on. There's one more in here though. The plants and everything are kind of getting in the way, just a little bit. Yeah, there's one more back here. We might be able to scrap it as well, maybe. I mean, you're not gonna notice it even looking at it from above, so it really doesn't matter too much. I'm a big fan of that. That worked out surprisingly well. And now we have a filter that's much more hidden than like this one out here. I'm tempted to try to put this maybe underneath of the flume tower. That might work. We're gonna want like some sort of a door though, even if it's just, you know, purely decorative. We're probably gonna want something in front of it. I'm wondering if we could use the multi-select tool to move both the flume station and flumes as well as the building. It looks like we can. Just have to make sure I select every single piece of our multi-layer roof there. Okay, so now that we have that selected, we should be able to just sort of slide it out this way. I want the paths to line up with it the way that they should. We're gonna have to rework the slides though if we do this, because they're coming up a bit short. This could work. This could really work. Okay, now that we have that sat down there, I think I'm just gonna delete this wall, and then if we replace it with one of the like standard doorways, you know what? I'll just find it in the catalog instead. Yeah, look at this. It's like it was made for that, dude. That's perfect. Okay, this needs to get deleted though. We're just gonna kind of leave that open so that our mechanics have easy access to it. I'm tempted to maybe add some additional walls though on the inside if it'll let me, just to kind of like box it in a little bit. Lady, I didn't even notice you were back here. We're probably we're probably gonna want to delete some of those paths. But let me add some more like decorative pieces around this thing. And maybe I will put a door on there. I don't know. That doesn't look too bad. I did try to add a door here, but because the filter sticks out so far, it just wasn't ever gonna look good. It does seem a bit problematic though, having this big red button exposed like that. I could see some of these kiddos being pretty tempted to come up and press the thing, so we might have to watch out for that. Next though, I need to try to figure out a way to remove the path from in here so this lady can get unstuck. Rather than using the draw tool technique that we use for our big planter box over there, I think I'm gonna try something a little bit simpler for this one and just delete all the paths around here, and we'll try to make some new ones that butt up to everything a little bit nicer. There we go. That wasn't too terribly difficult, and it looks like people are still able to use the steps, so that's good. We've still got our ride attendant up there. Something else that I want to change, apart from having to adjust these slides again, because they're not long enough now, is I want to add a little bit of like custom railing up around the top side, kind of like what we have around our Tiki Bar hotel main entrance area. It's a shame, honestly, that we can't just get rid of the like default railing. Maybe they'll add that feature later, who knows? But for right now, I do think I'm gonna cover that up a little bit. It's not perfect, but it was never going to be perfect, right? I think it looks considerably better than having the super visible blue railing up there at the top. Again, I wish we could just get rid of it altogether, but we're just gonna have to make this work. Something else I think we could do real quick is take a couple of these pillars, a couple of these columns, and just kind of slide them on over so we can really hide that last little bit of blue railing.
1 hour later.
I might have got a little carried away here, and I've found myself redoing the entire roof and its supporting beams as well. It should look quite a bit nicer than the old one. See, this is how it should have looked from the get-go. I am much happier with this now, and we have a little roof on the underside too to kind of hide a little bit of the imperfections. It's several different pieces. We had to do this in several different pieces just to make it look the way it does. But now that we're finished with the roof, wasn't even something I was really planning on working on today, we have to address these slides, because this right here, that could cause some serious head trauma or spinal damage. So we're gonna address that. I feel like I should make these a bit more gradual too. They kind of go down 45 degrees immediately. So let's do like 22 and a half, negative 22 and a half first. And then we can bring that down to maybe about here. And then bring it back to flat. Then if we just add our end there, see, that is so much better. So much better. These two on the ends also were never meant to be a fully enclosed tube, so I don't really know why I even did it that way, but I'm also kind of wondering if we shouldn't change the color of these again. I know, hopefully this would be the last time, but this is a bit too much. I feel like if we just had this one red, this one green, this one yellow, it would look, I keep saying this, a lot nicer. All right, let's get some tests going on these real quick like. Should just take a few seconds. Bada bing, bada boom. And now we can open them up straight away. Let's see how our finances are looking on these. So this one in the center, the green one, is fully enclosed, right? So I'm wondering if the price is gonna be different for that one. That was $8.54. Yeah, this is $13.94. We can charge a lot more for the fully enclosed ones. Why is this 12? Okay, 13? Did it just need a second to readjust? No, this one's still $8. I don't understand that at all, but sure. I'm not super worried about the prices, tell you the truth. Are we working? Is it doing the thing? Is it doing what it needs to do? Maybe we just gotta clear these fools out of here. I'm thinking we're gonna have to do the old save, quit, come back technique. Otherwise, nobody's gonna be riding these things today. There we go. Now we've got a couple more people starting to climb the staircase. That's a lot better than no people, but that is the only real change that I wanted to make to those flumes for today. What I want to work on next, though, is a proper, God, it's so loud, a proper tiki bar. And I kind of want to plop it down like in the super shallow area of the wave pool. To hopefully speed this process along so it doesn't take us 3 years to complete, I am going to kind of rob a couple of the building and scenery pieces from this blueprint, because I mean, this right here, this rounded bit, is like stereotypical tiki bar. I think it's absolutely perfect, and then we'll kind of make a custom building around that. But for the facility here, I would kind of like to add that little gift shop. I don't remember what it's called, but it'll allow our guests to purchase pool noodles and pool rings and a whole bunch of other stuff. So hopefully we'll start to see a bit more variation in the wave pool. And then when we finally complete a lazy river, that'll allow them to float around on a floaty or whatever. I know that I want to keep this building 2 wide. And what I mean by that is 2 4-meter walls wide, right? If we do a 3 wide, the roof is usually a nightmare. 4 wide is doable, but 2 wide, typically the roofs can butt perfectly up alongside each other. So we've got our shop front here smack dab in the center. What we used to have to do to fill in this gap here is use this piece, the station surround. But if we do that, we've got some clipping issues and it doesn't look super great. Thankfully though, the devs have given us a new building piece, the half-width wall, dude, and it is fantastic. So now we can just slide that sucker on in there, fill that gap on up, and we're good to go. I gotta say, man, I am loving how this is coming together. I don't love how there's a pole in the middle of that, though. There we go. Nice and easy. So I think what I'm gonna do now is start to drag this sucker on over there, because I'm guessing we're probably gonna have to do a little bit more fine-tuning once it's like sat down in the shallow end of the wave pool. And because AC/DC, I gotta try to make sure it's as center as possible. So I'm gonna kind of use the lifeguard here as a center point. Looks pretty good to me. Now we just slide her on back. So this portion of the building where the wall is will have to be outside of the pool so that we can actually put some type of facility in there. Facilities don't want to exist inside of pools. It's not a thing. So I'm gonna try to move this thing into position and we'll see if we can get this sucker to work. With our gift shop now in place, it's looking like that's probably about as far back as we're gonna be able to put this. Does this kid have goggles? Yo, what a legend! That's the first person I've seen in the entire park with goggles on. First person I've noticed. I guess there's probably others. So, what we need to do now, though, is edit this building. I need to lower this down and then maybe get rid of this. I don't know, it might look okay. I'm tempted to put some in the front, though, too. Let me see how that would look. We'll probably have to lower that down. Yeah, people's feet are going to kind of clip through it. Oh, you know what? Looking at this a little bit more, our path is uneven. So I suppose we should probably fix that first. Honestly, I kind of can't believe that this is actually working right now. There we go, just move that last path in. And I decided to get rid of the asphalt, kind of separating the 2 pools. I do think it looks a little bit nicer, just all one solid texture. What I want to work on now is trying to make this look a little bit more like a proper swim-up bar. Guests are desperate. Why? I just deleted the notification. I guess they're not desperate anymore. And I know I say swim-up bar. I realize that they're in ankle-deep water here, but you know what I mean. So I found in scenery, under pool decorations, this is supposed to be an inflatable pool ring holder, right? But if we scale it down as small as it can possibly be, and then rotate her around, it starts to look a little bit more like a stool. So I'm gonna place a couple of these around the rounded bit back there, and I think that's really gonna sell the illusion that this is a swim-up tiki bar. I mean, come on, man. That's perfect. That is absolutely perfect. And because it is just a front for a floaty shop, I do want to change the text up here to just say like floaties or something along those lines. And speaking of floaties, we're probably going to want a couple of piles of floaties on either side of the building. Just so people know, you know, in case they can't read. It feels like I've hardly even said a word today, yet progress is still, like, we're making progress. It's just slow going. You know what I mean? I would like to think that things will sort of pick up once we get to the theme park aspect of this game. But like all the pool stuff is so new to me. I'm really having to take my time with it all and make sure I'm going about doing things the right way. This building looks fantastic. It looks so good. I still have to change the text. That's gonna take me a little bit of time. You know what? We should probably add a transformer out here, no? Or not a transformer, a power distributor. We don't need no Optimus Prime out here. So let's plop that sucker down. Did I put it the right way around? Sure did. And then we just have to connect this to there. And we should have power now. That is all we needed. Can we actually open this spot up now? Beautiful. Gracie Dingwall. She's gonna be our Splash Emporium employee. Sorry, I don't mean to get all up in your business. I'm just kind of scoping things out, seeing what you have for sale in there. We should probably look through that though. Yeah, pool noodles, bunch of different inflatables. There's our pool rings. Oh, and they've got some crazy ones in here. Got a Queen Splash, King Coaster. Nice, dude. Very cool. Toogii Land is really starting to take shape now, dude. Oh, I forgot to change the sign. You know what? I might do that off camera. That is gonna take a considerable amount of time. I am glad that we were able to reuse like so much of the blueprint building to make this one, but it still takes time, man. Everything in Planet Coaster just takes an incredible amount of time. So the final thing that I want to get started today, I don't even know that we'll finish it necessarily, but I really want to make some slides that don't end in a pool. You know, I want to make some that like have that really long runoff bit that, again, just don't require people to be spat out into a pool. And I think I want to put those maybe right over here. I don't know if I want to do 2 or 3 or 4 or maybe more than that. I have no clue. I'm wondering if there are any like smaller entrances or something that we could use. Oh, dude, is that a tuk-tuk? That's cool. That's really cool. Not what we're looking for, though. Maybe we'll add one of those in the future. I just want some type of, oh, that could work. Like archway or something that we could sort of make the queue go through. Oh, now we're talking. Wait, does this have flames? Beautiful. And we got tiki torches up top. Yeah, that's gonna work. That is gonna work for us. We should probably sprinkle in just a couple more plants over here though, so it doesn't look super out of place. There we go, that's quite a bit better. What a great tool. I know I talked about this before, but what a fantastic tool. We might even sprinkle a couple more in here too. So I think I want the end of the slides. Granted, I don't really know how long they're gonna be, but I kind of want the end of the slides to be somewhere around here. So maybe that ought to about do it for the scenery, for the plants. Wait a minute, are queue paths only this wide? I don't see anything in here to make them any wider. There's length, but no width. Guess that means we're just gonna use the regular old run-of-the-mill paths then. So right around here should probably be pretty long, just until we, you know, actually get the platform put in. We've got 218,000 research points, so maybe we do a little research on some flumes real quick. 7,200, we got that all day. What is that thing? Yo, what the heck is that? Okay, this is 12,000, a little bit more expensive, but I think, didn't we start with only 150,000 research points? So one of our 2 mechanics is putting in some serious work on that front. I gotta check out, what is this? Raft flume. It's called the Raft Trap. Whoa, okay, that is crazy, dude. Obviously, we're not gonna use a blueprint flume, but that thing's wild. Oh, and yeah, so it's rafts. It's in the name. You would think that, common sense. These are pretty rad, man. These are really pretty rad. I don't know if the ones that use inner tubes, or I think there's others that use mats as well. I don't know if those have the runoff thing. I suppose we can check, right? What's it gonna hurt? So there are inner tube flumes for just one person to go down on an inner tube, or there are double inner tube flumes for 2 people. We've got the mat flumes, and then of course the raft flumes. I want to see if the raft flume has that runoff thing that I'm talking about. I'm gonna put this like way up in the sky, because again, I don't really know where I want this to go quite yet. And then when we're finished, we can just lower it down to wherever it needs to be. I'm not sure why. Oh, place. Cannot build here. What do you mean? Wait, it's a raft. It's probably, dude, it probably needs to be so much bigger than this. Let's try this. Let's see if that'll work for us. There it is. All right, so I'm just gonna put this down wherever. I just want to see if this has that end piece. It's not looking like it does, unfortunately. What in? Huh? I mean, that's really cool. It's probably not what we're gonna do today, unfortunately. Yeah, this looks like it still wants to spit them out into a pool. So no rafts for us today, but that's all right. What about a double inner tube? We can do that here. Okay. And now does it have the runoff? Maybe it's because, hang on. Maybe it's because we're trying to place the end at the beginning. Yeah, that's exactly why we weren't able to do it. So maybe we can do rafts then. Let's see what we're working with here. We've got open flume, enclosed flume, got the high side, left and right. Transparent with a raft ride, that's kind of cool. Full enclosed, transparent. What about specials? Okay. Okay. Sure. That looks crazy. A lot of these are going to be pretty wild. I can already tell. And I like how it shows you sort of the path that the raft is going to take once it's inside. One of these would be really sick too, dude. Like at the end. I think I've just decided what I want to do with this, but for the sake of things, let's keep looking through all of these wild pieces. Okay, there's the Venus flytrap, the raft trap looking thing. Left and right variant of that. We've got a big old funnel. Good lord. And then what's the difference between those and this? Oh, this one's capped off at the top. I've got you. Okay, yeah, those are pretty crazy. Definitely pretty crazy. I'm gonna try to keep this simple-ish. You think this is too much? This might be too much. I mean, it's obviously too tall. We are going to bring it all down, like I mentioned before. So I suppose let's do that first. Yeah, I think this is gonna be just a bit too much. I'm thinking it's too tall. So maybe after like this little turnaround, that's where the drop will be, and then it'll lead into this thing. That'll kind of bring the overall height down a little bit more too. All right, I've got our exit path finished now. Our entrance path should work, maybe. But let's test this thing, dude. The ride is currently untested. Okay, looking good through there. Also good through there. Lots of speed, dude. Okay, as long as they don't, you know, overshoot that, I'd say we're good. 932, yo. That's almost 5 stars on our first go of one of these. I'll take it. I will take it. I'm curious to see how much we could actually charge just with bargain pricing. $33.74. So, granted, I know we haven't really got to the theme park aspect of this game yet, but the water park side of things might be more profitable. Maybe. Maybe. Before we let any of our guests take a crack at it, I do want to add some supports so it looks a little bit better. Currently kind of looks like it's just floating in midair, so that one there should help out. Let's add another, probably just on the opposite side, and then same thing over here. Ooh, that's not the right spot. This one. And this one. Okay. Immediately looks quite a bit better. We might also want one over here. I wish we could put one just in the middle. Or wait, if I place it on this one, it should put it in the middle. Okay, good deal, good deal, good deal. We'll have to do the same thing here. Never mind, wrong spot again. This guy, perfect. I like it. I like a Picasso. Of course. Now that we made our ride or our flume safer, our price plummeted. Just by a couple of cents, but still, kind of weird. Kind of weird how that works. Dude, we've already got a bunch of people climbing the steps. Has its queue paused until another staff member arrives? Excuse me? You're leaving already? They are scheduled to have a break at the moment, so I'm gonna change that to, let's go with a little further down the line there. Here we go, dude. I gotta do a little ride along on this thing. It's too cool to pass up. Oh, and we can hide our panels too. They really do be scooting down this sucker though. Just flying. All right, yeah, they loved it. Good deal, dude. Good deal. You guys will have to help me come up with a color scheme for this. I don't know if I want to go with the Rasta color scheme again. I mean, we definitely could. It probably wouldn't look bad, but maybe if you guys could help me out with that in the comments, that would be super, super cool. What a ride. Or flume. Can you say, you can still say ride for this stuff, right? Surely no one's gonna get upset over that. So in the next episode, we're gonna have to come up with some type of structure around this because that's only gonna improve our scenery rating. It's currently sitting at 41%, and that's probably just from this little blueprint deal that we plopped down. But I do think that's probably where we're gonna have to wind things down at for today. Once again, if you guys did enjoy, please leave a like, leave a comment, help support the dream by smashing that subscribe button, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Peace.